అమ్మా కత్తిరి ఉందా ఇంట్లో? ఫోటోలు కట్ చేసుకున్నాం.
Hello. You can start.
Ma'am, we can start?
Yes, we can start. 1 second. One more minute. 1 second.
Yeah, ma'am. Just check your messages, ma'am. Can someone share the presentation, ma'am, or you want me to do it?
You can share yourself. I made you the co-host,
Okay.
so you can do yourself.
Because I'm trying to share it, but it's saying only host can share.
No. You can. I have made
It's giving a error message. Only the host can share in this meeting.
Is it?
Yeah, ma'am. So if someone can share, that will be great, ma'am. I can just run it through. It's only, I think, 5-6 page presentation.
I'll just check.
Yeah. Ma'am, can I go ahead and start?
You can start.
Fantastic. Ma'am, if you can ask someone to share the presentation, that will be great. So, hello, students. Hello, everyone.
Please check now. Can you share?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, I think now I'm getting it, ma'am. I'll share it, ma'am. Hello, students. How are everyone? I just posted a question. Good morning, sir. Okay. Any other messages? Any other responses? Someone can respond as well. You can even talk.
Yeah, you can unmute and you can interact.
Yeah.
Use of
So
this session, yes.
yeah. So as ma'am said, so let's have a much interactive session. I'm very much sure that you would have evidenced a lot of incidents in your online classes. But this session, let's have it more interactive, and let's interact, because this is a session on communication. So can I have someone talk? I want to hear someone. Just a few
Good
words.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So how was your day?
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
Going well, sir.
So, folks, let me get into the session. Okay. So this is going to be much of an interactive session, and I want every one of you to interact. Okay. So the moment when I said good morning, it's not that I'm only wishing you. Like, every one of you need to wish me back, and you need to interact. So that's the main motive behind. Okay. So I want each and every one of you to interact on this session and to provide some inputs on the session. Okay. So any point of time you have any doubts, you just raise your hand, or you just post a question on a message box, so we can address it through, or you can always unmute yourself and you can talk, as ma'am said. Okay. So students, let me kickstart this session with few of the pointers. Okay. So what do we look at when it comes to communication? So folks, this session is mainly in terms of communication, right? What do we look at when it comes to communication, and how do we communicate? So that's one of the very vital part, wherein we have a lot of dilemma and we have a lot of hesitations of how I need to connect and how I need to communicate, how I need to effectively do it, right? There are a lot of uh, uh, confusions and a lot of thinking over there in that process, right? So, folks, this session, this workshop is going to give you especially the kind of energy which you need to create and the kind of interest level which you need to create when it comes to your communication, because communication is everything in a process of talking to a person and presenting yourself and showing yourself that you are a confident person who can accomplish the goals or who can accomplish the project. Okay. So given any sort of project, let it be your project in your college or project in your career. Okay. So that's one of the essential tool wherein it highlights you that you can present yourself strongly and you can move up the ladder in terms of communication. Okay. So let's get into the session quickly. Okay. So I just want to put across a question to you folks, okay, before kickstarting the session, okay, because I think that would be more better, okay. So speaking and listening, right? So these are the two skills which we are going to focus today: speaking and listening. So can someone come out and tell me? Couple of folks can come out and tell me. So what is it when it comes to your speaking skills and listening skills? I just need two or three folks of yours to come out and just give a small introduction before we start the session. So can we have someone of our folks who wished me, coming out and talk? So what it takes to bring out your speaking skills and your listening skills? What it takes? I want someone to talk. I want someone to respond to all of us.
You can unmute yourself and talk.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Very good
this is
morning.
Ananya
What's your
speaking.
name? Yeah, Ananya. Yeah, Ananya.
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, listening skills, we have all done it in school and we have all heard. And, listening skills is something we don't see a person and we just listen to what they're saying. Without seeing a person and listening and concentrating on that is called listening skills. And speaking skills is mainly consisted of language, sir. Whatever, even if you're talking in your native language like Kannada or Tamil, it is very important to convey what your point of view on the matter is, sir. So that's what is speaking and listening skills for me.
Okay. So what is speaking skills you said, especially, Ananya?
So speaking skills consists of language and grammar, sir, mainly. So if you use the right kind of grammar and right kind of words, so the matter, whatever you're trying to convey, it will be conveyed better in a better way.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So anyone else apart from Ananya? Folks, this is such a great momentum. So utilize the momentum. Anyone else?
Listening and speaking, in my opinion, it's both interconnected, sir.
Okay.
A good listener is a good speaker. A good speaker is a good listener, sir, according to me.
Okay.
So definitely we want both. So in our daily lives.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So listening and speaking are two essential skills, right? Fantastic. Anyone else? So, folks, let's kickstart. Let's get into the session. Okay. So, once we complete the speaking skills, okay. So let's have some time question and answer session for your questions to be answered, or any of your queries, any of your doubts to be answered. Okay. So let's take this segment of communication. So as our folks wonderfully said, so both the skills are interrelated. That is speaking and listening, right? Why it is interrelated? Because you develop your public speaking skills, or you develop your speaking skills. Okay, for example, you talk to a client or you talk on the stage, whatever. Okay, so when you develop it, the moment you start to develop, you develop on your communicational skills, right? So most of us think, why do we need communication skills to an extent? So it is not that much imperative. Our knowledge is enough, or what kind of weightage we carry is enough. It is not true. It is absolutely false. Okay, because communication skills is going to enhance your personality. It's going to enhance your confidence. It's going to enhance what kind of person you are. Okay, so the manner in which you present yourself, the manner in which you appeal, you show your strength. Okay, so that's going to count a lot in whatever kind of discussion you're going to hold, or whatever kind of project you're going to take up, or whatever kind of initiative you're going to do. Okay, so your communication does it half the way. Okay, so the remaining bit is what you project there. Okay, so folks, let's get into the presentation. I'm just quickly sharing it. Yeah. So, folks, can you see the presentation?
Can
Yes,
see,
sir.
but it has to be
Yes,
in
sir.
presentation mode. Can you make it presentation mode?
Is it better now, ma'am? Is it okay visible now?
Now it is better. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Fine. Yeah, I'll make it visible. So this is how the presentation starts for us. The most important thing in communication is to hear what isn't being said. Okay. So this shows students that we need to be very attentive when there is a communication chain which is going on, or when we are conversing with a person. Okay, or when we are conversing with a group of people. Okay, so what isn't being said is something wherein you need to focus there, and you need to hear out each and every bit of the communication. Okay, so you cannot afford to miss anything. Got it? As simple as that. So you're going to be very, very attentive on the complete communication chain, and you're going to get into the segment of how is it your conversation, your communication is driving. You observe each and everything, each and every of body language. We are going to see all of that. Okay, so when we come into our main presentation points, so what's the body language, and what's it the person is conveying to you, and what all messages you're getting, and what all you're making a note. Everything you have to be very attentive on a communication. Okay, so every human communication interaction, be it face-to-face, return by telephone, or by any means, has three critical components: sending, receiving, communication, feedback. So you send the communication. This is something which is very basic, right, students? You send the communication, and then you receive the communication, right? You receive it. So what the person says, or what the group of people says, or what is it you look on a television. Let's say you get in communication from even television, right? So what is it you receive from there, and what is it you give as a feedback? Okay, what is it your points which finally comes to a conclusion? Okay, so why should we effectively communicate? Okay, so now we come into speaking effectively. Okay, so can someone read it out for me?
Speaking skills are defined as the skills which allow us to communicate effectively. They given us the ability to convey information variably and in that the listener can understand.
Yeah, so in a way that the listener can understand. So speaking skills is going to be your basics. So that's what we are going to project immediately, and as a next move we are going to project there. Okay, so this is something which is very eminent. This is something which you start. This is how you begin the conversation. So what I did today, when I spoke to you guys, most of you folks wouldn't have observed it. What I did was I got engaged with you guys, right? So when I said when I especially said good morning to you folks, I could have stopped there, right? And I could have moved up with the session. So what I did immediately is I asked you guys as well to greet back, right? So why did I did that? It is something wherein to engage you students and to get that engagement within a conversation. Okay, and then ability to convey information verbally in a way that listener can understand. Okay. Okay, so students, let's get into the pointers. Okay, and so that's what mainly I wanted to put you on to folks, that before we could start, that engagement is very important. Okay, it's not that only we communicate and we only talk to people and engage in a communication. Okay, but we need to make the other people, make the crowd. Okay, let's say for example, you folks are going for a public speaking. Okay, so how many of you folks in this group are interested in public speaking? Can you just raise your hand, or can you just put a message, something? So how many of you folks, just very quickly, how many of you folks are very much interested on public speaking? So see, the hands goes quickly up, right? See, it will still go. It will still go, and a lot of people will be for sure keen on it. Any other folks who are interested? I think 7. I'm not going to ask any questions, so don't worry. So just raise your hands. How many folks are just blindly or just very much passionate about public speaking? I want to get into this public speaking segment here. I want to inspire people. I want to make people understand what I'm saying, and I want to attract the crowd. How many folks are interested? See, 15 hands have come up, right? And it's going to go more. Believe me, it's going to go more. In a crowd of 100, 70 people will be interested. You got it, in public speaking, but they don't get the opportunity. They don't go there. They don't reach there. You got it? See, 22 hands up. Fantastic. So can someone tell me what it takes to develop your public speaking skills? What it needs? Can someone tell me? Someone except from whoever spoke till now? Fantastic. So when it comes to public speaking, you engage the crowd, right? So what happens is you make the crowd engaged. A good speaker always engages the crowd, because only once you engage the crowd and you get the crowd intact, you get the crowd on the attention. Okay, you only then you get into the visibility, you get into action of the crowd will receive your message. Okay, so that is very important, folks. We need to engage the crowd, or we need to engage the person whom you're talking to. Okay, so now I'm getting into the pointers of these skills. Yeah, so we have these all pointers. So let's go one by one, and probably after finishing the points, let's have a question and answer session. So first one is building your confidence. So what all it takes when it comes to speaking effectively. Okay, so the first one is building your confidence level. So folks, let's say you get on to the stage tomorrow and you start to talk. Okay, so what happens with you? You get that stage fear, right? You get that fear, how I'm going to talk and how I'm going to present myself, and how is it I'm going to come out with this with this stage, with this crowd. You got it? But on the other hand, you need to day by day build in your confidence. You need to you build a house, right? So in that ways you build your confidence. So you give yourself the boosting, and you watch a lot of documentations, a lot of materials wherein you can develop your speaking skills. And you need to watch a lot of videos wherein folks speak, folks come and talk on the stage, right? So you observe them, you learn from them, right? So this is how you slowly build your confidence. You slowly get the confidence level of, that, yeah, I can speak now. You give me a crowd of 50, or you give me a crowd of 100, or you give me a crowd of 1,000, I can speak now. Okay, so that's the first point, folks. Okay, second one, improve your pronunciation. Okay, so this is something wherein you folks need to be very, very careful, because when it comes to pronunciation, okay, we need to pronounce the words in the right way. Okay, even a word getting mispronounced, or even a particular message going differently, might always have a different sense of understanding, and it might lead to confusion, right? So you need to day by day improve your pronunciation. For example, the manner in which I call out confidence might be wrong, and someone can come and say me, sir, the way you pronounce confidence is wrong. You got it? So what we need to do, we need to take up that feedback. We need to take up the constructive feedbacks which comes to us. Okay, so folks, keep in mind, you folks need to take up the constructive feedback, not the criticizing feedbacks. Okay, so again, when it comes to your feedbacks about whatever you take up, whatever you do, okay, so when someone comes and tells you, yeah, you need to listen and you need to improvise there. Okay, so you folks know the difference between constructive and criticizing feedbacks, right? Probably someone has any questions, I will explain more on that. And then reading habit, develop your reading habit. Don't take it as reading is not that much imperative, it is not that much a great skill. What it's going to give you, sitting and reading, what it's going to give us, what it's going to especially provide us. No, folks, when it comes to reading habits, okay, when it comes to your reading habits, it's going to for sure give you a lot of skill sets, a lot of value additions. Because what happens in your reading habits is mainly when you inculcate the habit and you start to read. So can I ask now another question to you folks? How many of you read? You take time and read at least once in a week or twice in a week. So not your study material, but how many of you take time to read? Can you just quickly give me some messages? See, most of us, we take the time to read and we do it, okay? But what happens end of the day is we don't do it religiously, okay? Because as I told you, reading is not going to provide you with that much of skill sets or that much of value addition is what we're thinking, okay? No, it is going to give you a lot of value additions, and reading is going to give you moment by moment, day by day, you're going to develop there. So find time to read, folks, okay? So don't ignore that. If you want to develop on English, read English books or read English stories or read any of your interesting materials in English, okay? You might like a concept about motivation. So read about motivation. You might like a concept about life sciences. Okay, so read about life sciences. So you continuously read. You have a lot of materials available. You can spend your time and you can read. So what happens is obviously your confidence level boosts up. And the next one which we saw is especially on watching speeches. So folks, most of you raised your hands when it comes to public speaking skills, right? So when it comes to public speaking skills, mainly you need to know how you present yourself and know how you need to promote yourself, especially on a stage, okay, or on when it comes to a group of people, okay? So you need to develop that. So you need to watch speeches and watch people, how they speak and how they come and present themselves, etc. So you learn slowly from them. You don't copy them. Okay. See, for example, if I am presenting whatever content which I have, I might be not that accurate. I might be not that much great in conveying the message or on a public speaking note. You can have a unique style of your own. So come out with that unique style. You develop your unique style. For sure, you will have a unique style and you will have a God-given style. Okay. So develop that and you will be more unique probably than me. Okay. So you guys need to watch people who speak and, learn from that, to whoever who are interested in the public speaking. Okay. And then the next point, talking to like-minded folks. So what is this like-minded folks? So you continuously find time to talk to people and have sessions with people. So you learn about your communicational skills, your public speaking skills, or your speaking skills, or your listening skills. Okay. So what happens is when you do that, so someone says commentary of cricket, right? So commentary of cricket is good enough. But what you learn there, you need to evaluate what you're learning. What do you learn there? Are you going to get into the commentator mode? No, right? You're going to have a different career for sure. Very few people will get into that segment, right? Because your nature of studies is completely different. So what do you get there? You evaluate what is the message from that kind of uh, presentation. So you find out that learning, and then you also try to spend some time on other kind of value added speeches as well. I think that should be giving you a lot of inputs. Okay, so like-minded, TED Talks, someone says. Yeah, absolutely. TED Talks is good. And even there are a lot of speakers whom you cannot find in the attention. You cannot even, find them in a lot of speeches and everything, but they are wonderful, wonderful speakers. So you can browse through them and you can watch them. For sure, it's going to give you a lot of knowledge, a lot of value additions. Okay. So, like-minded people. So you find these folks and you talk to them and you find out and you get the inputs. Okay, and then you find out what all points they have, what all strong points which they work out to give the best. Okay, and engage yourself into public speaking. Okay, so how many of you folks are ready to get engaged into public speaking? So now a lot of folks who raise their hands, right, when it comes to public speaking. So how many of you folks are ready to get engaged into public speaking? Let's say your management is having a public speaking session, okay, or we are having a public speaking competition. So how many of you folks are interested to get engaged? See, again, I can see the hands. So I can see a very, very vital and vibrant crowd today who are very much interested, especially in public speaking, and especially who are interested in, improvising on your communicational skill sets. So, folks, so get engaged. Okay, get engaged yourself, because that's going to help you out a lot, and that's going to give you a lot of value additions, a lot of pointers. Okay, once you get into the public speaking, because get into a stage to get the limelight of it, to get the taste of it. So when you get the taste of a coffee, only once you have the coffee, right? Only once you have a nice coffee, you get the taste of a coffee. When you get the taste of tea, okay, or when you get the taste of a particular food, only once you taste it. So this is also like a food for you. Okay, this is not even a food for your body, it's food for your thought. Public speaking is food for your thought. It gives you learning day by day. Okay, even today when I'm talking to you, it is not that I am a learner. I'm learning from you folks. You got it? I'm learning from you folks because you folks are teaching me a lot of things today. Okay, that's the truth. So you're going to learn day by day from your audience, from your people, from your feedbacks, your constructive and criticism feedbacks, or whatever. Okay, so get engaged into public speaking. Get yourself engaged. Don't wait for it. Don't think that, let that time come here, let some moments go, and then I'll become a public speaker after 40 or 50. Don't wait for it. Get into the segment and rock the segment and develop day by day, grow day by day, and improvise on your skills and teach people, teach others that how capable you are. I'm not making you a public speaker, but I am mentioning the value additions of a public speaker, or enhancing your public speaking skills. Okay. Yeah. So then do we have? Yeah. So the last few points which we have are engage into public speaking skills, we have seen, and know your audience before a speech. So this is very important, right? You know your audience. You know who is your audience, whom you're targeting to. Okay. For example, let's say someone from the crowd. Let's say Ananya. Ananya, you are there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Fantastic. So let's say Ananya goes to an audience of 100 people, and those 100 people are into the segment of, let's say, commerce studies. So Ananya, what will be your presentation?
What subject are you into, sir? Commerce?
They're into commerce studies. So what will be your presentation to them? What you will present to them, which you think which might add value for them?
Sir, I mean, commerce students, they're mainly interested about taking a CA exams and all those things.
Okay.
So maybe something like that, and
Or
economic.
let's even take your domain. So let's take your domain. You're presenting something to your students. So what is it you will present? What is it you think that they need? They need to know.
Sir, first of all, they have to know the scope of what they're studying, and then the subject, the scope of what they're studying, and they need to know where their interests lie. Like it will be easy for them, like what to study after that. If they know their interest, it will be easy for them. So then after that, the jobs they're searching for and something like that, sir.
Done. That's enough. Beautiful. So see, what Ananya said is, folks, that we need to identify what the audience needs, right? This is what you're going to identify. When you're going to talk in a panel, you will first of all identify what the audience needs. So when you give what the audience needs, that's going to add a lot of value to your speech, right? Your speech is going to be very beautiful. Okay. And folks, we are coming to the very last point. It's on your body language and how you present yourself. Okay. So that's the last point, which we are completing on your speaking skills. So especially the gesture you present, your behavior you present, how you move yourself, how you magically give some inputs from your body language, from the way you present yourself, from the way your behavior is on the presentation of yours. So that's very, very important, because it is not easy, folks. You need to learn a lot of things on your behavior, on how you present, how is your body language, everything. Okay, you need to learn a lot of things there, and that's going to give you a great amount of speaking skills. So folks, we are done with it, with the first segment of speaking skills. So any questions? As I told you, I'm very keen, very eager on.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Your questions. Yeah. So everyone can go ahead. It's not only the folks who have been talking, everyone can go ahead and everyone can unmute yourself. And if you can unmute your video, that will be also great. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, if suppose you're giving a TED talk and or any talk, and not all the audience agree with you, then how are you going to handle those kinds of audience, sir? What if only the 50% agree with you and the other 50% they have different opinions? You're telling to talk to people like-minded people, but what if those 50% people are not like-minded? How are we going to control them? How are we going to satisfy those people, sir?
Okay, so see, this is Ananya, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So Ananya, see, like-minded people is you're going to get the learnings. Okay, that's it. You're going to get the learnings from like-minded people, that how you can improvise on your skills. Okay, so that stops with the like-minded folks. So we don't have any other business with them apart from learning from them. Okay, so when you learn from like-minded people, you learn a lot of things, right? As simple. What if my points are not agreed by everyone in the audience? So Ananya, that's the reason. And folks, I'm addressing everyone. That's the reason we did spoke about know your audience. You need to do a study before you go and present a speech. Okay. And as Ananya questioned, when you are in a TED platform, it's a very big platform worldwide, right? It's a renowned platform. So when you present there, obviously you need to study your crowd and study the topic which has been given to you and how you can attract all kinds of audience. Let's say you have audience from India, you have audience from New Zealand, and you have audience from Singapore. You need to study about these audiences and then you present your content. I think that's going to reach all the audience, and all the audience are going to be happy. And you cannot make happy each and every individual, every single person. You got it, folks? So keep that in mind always. You can give your best, but you cannot make everyone happy. There might be some folks who might not be happy. Okay, But that is absolutely fine. You know, in a crowd of 1,000, one or two is not happy, is absolutely fine. But you would be looking at even satisfying them. You would be presenting your thought process, and you would be doing a study to even satisfy them. Okay. So this is about your question, Anani. And you're okay with the answer?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fantastic. Any other questions? Quickly. Any other questions, folks? Okay, so no,
See, this
sir.
session is for enhance your speaking skills. So please, all of you, unmute yourself and
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
sir.
Even your question, let it be very simple. Let it be even not making any sense. That's absolutely fine. You can ask your questions. We just want you to converse. We just want you to communicate with us. How to start the conversation to get most of attention from audience? Shivani, can we have you talk?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's your question?
So how to start the conversation to get most of the attraction and meet attention from the audience? How to effectively start the conversation?
See, you effectively start with the engagement process. So I did the engagement with you folks right in the very beginning. So that engagement was a powerful one, and you folks were all very much attentive and very much keen after that engagement, right? So you need to do the engagement with the crowd. You need to talk to the crowd. You need to get introduced to the crowd. You need to give the crowd the comfort that yeah, you are going to give them a wonderful moment through your speech. Okay, so you need to create that engagement, Shivani. Okay, so that's how you're gonna create that with the crowd, and obviously you need to do a very strong introduction. The introduction matters a lot. Okay, you're satisfied with the answer?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so any other questions? Quickly, folks. Any other questions? We'll move on to our listening skills, which is going to be the main segment.
Sir, I want to reply something.
Yeah, please.
So main thing is that we should have knowledge about the topics we should convey away.
Uh-huh.
That's the reply to everyone.
Pardon, what is it? Can you just
We should
So
know
he's
the
telling to speak something, you should have a hold on your subject. Subject knowledge is more important, he's
Yes.
telling.
Yes.
okay, hold on your subject. Fantastic. That's true. Absolutely. That's true. You should have a hold on your subject, and you should mainly do the study before you get engaged to the audience, because without a proper study, you're not going to know what they need and what is required. Okay, so let me quickly move on to our remaining. Folks, you can stop me if there are any questions, okay? Yeah, so now we are coming on to our listening skills. All of you can see the presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Yeah, so can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Okay, so how many of you like today's presentation, first of all? Today's session, how many of you like today's session? So probably you can answer to that. You can take your time. So listening skills. So when it comes to listening skills, the first pointer which comes, folks, I'm not sure how many of you are keen, or how many of you show your full-fledged passion towards listening. Listening is one of the crucial element wherein if you don't do it rightly, it's going to be the biggest blunder. Okay, because a good listener is always a good learner and also becomes a good speaker, because when you listen well, you understand half of the needs and half of the requirements which are coming up. Okay, and you learn a lot of things. So folks, again, I'm saying listening is a very, very, very essential skill. Okay, if you're not good at it, immediately develop it. Okay, so let's go for the first point. Listening is an art. So why do we call it as listening is an art? Because it is an art. It doesn't come so easily to everyone, and it is not that easy you can follow it. It takes a lot of time for you to start to listen. Okay, and the second would be observe to learn. So you observe things, you observe a lot, you get into the concept, you get into the attention of observing from what all the person is presenting to you, the person is giving to you. Okay, you start to learn from whatever you observe, and you get into the focus. Okay, and then be patient. The next point would be patient. Don't immediately raise a question when you're listening, or don't spoil the conversation. You'll be always patient enough to listen what the person is saying, or listen what in a meeting you're talking to people. Okay, and then you prepare your inputs. Okay, and then empathize. So what's empathize? Empathize is something you give time to the person, you show that courtesy to that person. You first of all spend your time in making the person comfortable. Okay, and making the person pretty much on your engagement process. Okay, and then listen, avoiding talking in the non-prominent areas. Okay, so what it says, the non-prominent areas, right? So what it comes with the non-prominent areas, so especially whenever you are not, I wouldn't say avoid, but whenever there is no need of your intervention, it's better we stay quiet. Okay, so it's better we stay quiet, and we listen to the person to get the conversation complete and to understand the complete conversation. Okay, so when you're interrupting, what happens? The listening part and also the conversation segment gets completed, right? So it ends up in a mess, right? And the next one would be attentive. So attentive is something wherein it is not that, yeah, I'm giving my full focus and I'm listening to it, yeah, I'm gonna complete this process. It is something wherein you get completely into the process of being attentive and being there. Okay, so see, in a classroom, let's take, there are 100 students. Out of 100 students, you go and take a class. Okay, so can you ensure that all the 100 students are attentive to you? Can someone answer me? Can you ensure that all the 100 students are attentive to you? You folks can give a nod. You can raise your hand, or you can say comment or whatever. You cannot make all the 100 students attentive, right? What is the reason now? What is the reason you cannot make them attentive? Because it is not that easy that you make all of them engaged with you, right? It is a very tough process, but you can do it. You can do it. Okay, you need to improvise and you need to captivate the listening skills. You got it? You need to captivate the listening skills. You need to activate the listening skills, and you need to ensure that listening skills are evolved and improvised. So all of them listen to you. Okay. So listening is such a wonderful concept, and it is such a wonderful element wherein it is going to help you out a lot. It might look very small. It might look very, very meager. Okay. But it's going to help you folks a lot. Okay. And then understand the expectation and respond. Okay. So understand the expectation. So what is it they expect from you? Okay. The speaker, the person who is talking to you. So what is their expectation? What is that they need? You need to understand that. You need to respond to that. Okay. And the next one would be on the listening skills. You know the body language. Okay. So why do you do that? Because their body language matters a lot, right? Their body language is going to teach you and is going to give you the element of their focus, their attention, their expectations, right? So you need to observe very closely what is their body language and what is that they are trying to present. Is there any questions, folks? I think someone raised your hand. Is there any questions? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Okay, let's just share, complete our presentation. Then probably we will have the question and answer session. Yeah. Okay. Observe the body language. We'll come to the 8th point. And the next would be write while listening. How many of you love to write while listening? While having a meeting or while having a conversation, how many of you love to write? So folks, I will tell you that the moment you start to write, it shows that you're showing your complete interest and you're getting engaged with the conversation and you're listening pretty much attentive. Because when you write and listen, you also write down the points, right? It is not that you listen tomorrow, you forget it. It is not that you listen and the next minute you forget it, right? So when you write, you are also documenting it. You're showing the person on the other end that you're writing and you're giving that focus completely, okay? And the next point would be summarizing. So summarizing whatever you listened and whatever you observed and whatever you got the observations, okay? And whatever you wrote, if you have written something, okay? And you summarize what is it we have come to a conclusion when it comes to your content of listening, okay? So why this is important? Why summarizing is important? Because you finish off your conversation and you move off to the next one, right? But you don't do a summarizing of what conversation you had and what weightage it's going to carry and what kind of value addition it is going to have in the coming days, right? You're not doing that. You're forgetting there and you're dropping it off. So summarizing will help you a lot. And then visualize what you listen. Okay, so that's the last point which we have come out to, folks. Visualize what you listen. Okay, so the moment you get into this listening engagement, you also visualize at the back end. You also visualize at the back of your mind. Okay, what I can achieve, how I can achieve, what is my goal? Can I create a sync with this? Or what is it my projects which I am planning at? Can I create a sync with this particular conversation which I am having? For example, if you're discussing about a project or an initiative, can I create it? Can I connect it with my projects as well? Okay, so you visualize it back of your mind, what all kind of opportunities, what all kind of works you can develop over. Okay, so folks, that's it. We're coming to the conclusion of your listening skills as well. So again, I am presenting to you, listening is one of the very, very vital skills which you need to improve minute by minute, hour by hour, and day by day. Okay, So improvise on it. The more you listen, the more you learn. It is not that the more you speak, the more you learn. It is the more you listen, the more you learn. Because when you listen, you learn a lot of things from your colleagues, from your friends, from your family, from every one of the people you meet around, from your business folks, or if you become become a businessman, okay, or an entrepreneur, okay. So everywhere, okay, or let's say with your employer, if you're an employee, okay, everywhere, the more you listen, the more you learn, okay. The more you listen, things are going to be very beautiful, okay. Folks, that's it. So it's the finale time, and any other questions, it's time for the question and answer session.
Chandana, you have any question?
Yeah, there was someone who raised your hand, right? So please go ahead. Please go ahead with your question.
Sir, what did you feel when you first give your first talk, sir? Like the first talk, what was your feeling, sir? Like, were you scared or something
It
like
was
that?
very simple. It was very simple, and I did my required deliverables on the day, and I ensure to complete what is required from the audience, what the audience needs. So that's what I told you, right? That's something which is very important. I continuously work there. For example, when I'm talking to you folks, I need to address what is it you folks need, right? If I'm not giving that, then there is no meaning of, we talking these many minutes, or we are getting engaged these many minutes. So that was my main presentation on my first talk. So I tried to meet the deliverables. I tried to satisfy the audience. I tried to make the needs meet for the audience.
Sir, have you made any mistake on stage while talking, or how did you cover it up? Or were you nervous that you made a mistake and you didn't go forward? Something like that, sir.
No, nothing like that, Ananya. This is Ananya, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing like that. See, little bit of your nervousness and your issues will be there. Okay, Ananya, I can understand your question. Your question is mainly to know, will there be any nervousness when we get into, right? So I can
No, sir,
understand.
it's okay to make mistakes on stage like that.
See, it is okay, but it depends on what kind of stage you are. If you're in a very big stage, you cannot go there and make a mistake. Got it? You need
Yes,
to be
sir.
very careful. And it's going to be a few minutes of your time you're going to spend there, right? So you
Yes,
need to
sir.
give that accuracy, and you need to give that proper speech, because that is where your complete base work and your complete work which you're doing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're getting engaged. You're getting part of the speech, because you need to prove yourself. You need to show yourself who you are, and you need to uh, show to the world that that I'm capable of this. That's why you go and stand there, right? So for sure you need to accomplish what is that you want to do. So you wouldn't want to
Make
fail there, or lag there, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah. And Jennifer, are there any questions? I think Jennifer is raising her hand. And folks, anyone who have any questions, kindly put it across. Don't have any sort of hesitations. Let it be any questions. Put across your questions. So I want at least some 10 to 15 questions.
Sir,
Because,
am I audible?
yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. You can go ahead. You're audible.
Sir, actually, I have to know this. India being varieties, cultures and languages. So language is a part of communication skills, sir. Then how do we compete, sir? There are so many languages in India. So how do we just proceed on?
Okay. So your question is mainly due to more number of languages, which language you need to select?
Like, how do we just get connected with all the people, sir? Like, is it the language that matters or the communication skills that matter?
It matters with your communication. It matters with your communication. See, you can address a language issue. Like, if, for example, let's say I'm talking to a crowd of 100 people, 100 folks, and out of 100 folks, 10 folks, they don't know English. They know only Kannada. Let's take, for example. Okay. So I need to have a local person who can present in that language, and you can put your thoughts, you can summarize your thoughts, in the Kannada language as well. So what happens is I will address those 90 students, and the remaining 10% of the students or 10 students as well, I address them through the local language. And if they have any doubts, they can also, put across the doubts. But always it's better you go in a universal language. That's better, because that will give you the strength, and that's the basic need as well, right? That everyone needs to learn their general, their communication, which is being spoken by everyone, right? For example, let's take English. So in that case, yeah, you can go by English, and you can have a local language wherein you have the challenge.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. So any other questions?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Does pitch of our voice also plays a role in our communication?
Pardon? What is it?
Pitch of our voice does also plays an important role in our communication.
No, I'm not getting it. Your pace of your voice. What is it you're saying?
Pitch of our voice.
Pardon? What is it?
Pitch.
The pitch of your voice, isn't?
Yes, sir. Does
Okay.
that also play an important role?
Your voice was not that clear. Okay. So yeah, it is very important. It's very important. You need to have a commanding voice. Okay. See, that you cannot improvise over the day. It will take a lot of time for you to get that commanding voice. Okay. So it is going to take some time for sure. That is going to absolutely give you a lot of mileage, give you a lot of strength, and the message to the audience as well. You need to develop it. If you're not able to develop it immediately, it's absolutely fine. You can develop it in some days, or you can develop it over the coming days. You can speak as in whatever is coming on to you. Okay, no one is going to stop you, or no one is going to criticize you. You can talk whatever comes to you day by day, and as time goes, it's going to evolve, and it's going to improvise automatically. So you can improvise it, taking your time, no issues. That you need to have the pitch in your voice, only then you can go for it. Okay, once you get into it, automatically it will develop a lot. It will go miles across. Any other questions? Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, my pleasure. So any other questions, folks? Let's wrap it off. Let's have some 5 questions, quick questions from 5 bright folks in the group. Do we have any bright folks in the group? And 5 questions from them.
Quick. Actually, in these sessions are outside. If you want to know more about these things, you have to pay. This is with sir's cooperation. We are doing it free.
Yeah. So any questions from Kritika? Any questions from Sharan? Any questions from Rishita, Soundarya? And Leah Afonso? Any questions from Zaiba? Any questions from the bright folks? Everyone in this session is bright, but I'm just mentioning for the questions' sake.
Hi,
No
sir.
questions. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I have one doubt. So actually,
Please go
I
ahead.
face one problem. I face one problem, that is, while speaking, sometimes I have issue of stammering a bit.
Okay.
So with this problem, if anyone wants to be a good public speaker, so is there any solution for curing this stammering problem? Like who is stammering a bit sometimes?
Yeah. So that's a wonderful question, and it's a role model question, I would say. Okay. So it is not a problem at all.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it is not a problem at all. As I answered a previous question, as time goes, you should be better, and you should be feeling much better once you practice and once you get engaged.
Okay. So, sir, is there any practice
So
for it
it will be
to
better. It will be better down the line and pretty soon. So don't worry about it. Don't at all
Okay,
worry
okay,
about it, because the moment you worry, you stop for
okay,
everything.
okay.
You got it? The
Yes,
moment
sir.
you worry, you stop everything, right? You stop your
Yes,
approach, you stop what you do, and you get demotivated and you get into a criticizing mode and nothing comes out, right? So
yes,
that's
sir.
what I said as a role model. You are a role model. So take it in that ways. You
Okay,
can achieve, you can go to the next level. Take it in that ways and, push your life towards it. Obviously, one fine day, you will tell me that, yes, sir, what you said happened in my life.
okay,
Okay?
sir.
So
Okay,
it's going to be a plus for you. It's not going to be a minus for you, or it's not going to be a negative thing for you. Okay.
okay,
So you
okay,
can go ahead with full confidence. There's no doubt on that. Okay. You will be accomplishing better than the other folks.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very
And
much.
practice will make you, reach to greater heights.
Okay, sir. And sir, actually, I have heard that those who have stammering problem, for them, reading habits are very good to improve it.
Good. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it is a strength. It is not a weakness.
Mhm.
You take it
Okay,
as a strength.
okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay,
You take
okay.
it as a strength. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah. My pleasure. Yeah. So folks, how was the session? All of you like the session today? Yeah. Soundarya, you can post your question. Yeah.
So I have no questions, but one of my friend asked about the voice pitch.
Yeah.
May I know once again? May I know that what is the advice given by you? Is really voice pitch matters?
See, it matters a lot, Soundarya. There's no doubt on that. It matters a lot. People are going to observe you, and it matters a lot. But on the other hand, it is not that vital. That's what I presented. It is not that vital that you need to focus there on your voice pitch. Day by day, as you practice, as you talk, it will go up. It will grow better. Okay, and one fine day you will have a wonderful pitch yourself, and you wouldn't be even noticing that. You wouldn't be even knowing that, yeah, my voice pitch has grown a lot. It's now more better. Because I'll tell you one simple example, folks. When I started talking, I never had any pitch. I just had my voice. I just had my skills, of presenting. That's it. Okay. Even today, if given a crowd of more than 5,000 or 10,000, I can present a talk to them. Okay? That is not because of my skill sets or my inbuilt skill sets. It is out of my practice, and I've been doing things. So when you start to do, that's what I'm saying, your voice pitch automatically grows. Okay, it will automatic. You will someone is saying about confidence. You will automatically gain the confidence. So you start doing it, you will get it. You will get it way long back. Okay, you will have your pitch way more developed. So don't worry about it. Okay, so don't worry about your pitch. Worry about your work, and worry about what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Okay.
Yes, sir, definitely. But according to me, I feel that voice modulation really matters while speaking.
It matters
in public. Because if we say in a commanding manner to others, they might not listen to us.
Absolutely.
They might not listen to us.
Absolutely.
So voice modulation definitely matters when we are speaking in public.
Okay, absolutely. Saundara, I'll ask you a question.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Is your voice pitch good or bad?
So I think I am soft enough, and I need more of yeah, I think my voice is really good.
Okay. See, how you know that? My feedback would be your voice pitch is really good. It's really, really good. Okay. So you have a doubt whether it is good or not. You got it? That is where your confusion is. Your confusion is either it is good or it is not good. You have that confusion, right? So every voice is good. You got it? Every individual voice is good. You can develop it however you need to and however you want to, according to your aspirations. Okay. So you have a wonderful voice, blessed for you, right? If someone else is not having it, they can develop it when they practice, when they get into the segment. You got it? So that's it all about.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. Any other questions, folks, or else, ma'am, we can wind up the session, ma'am, if there are no other questions.
Yeah, if there are no other questions for today's, we can end, and tomorrow, which is 10:30. Okay, sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, then. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks to everyone. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Hope we all had very wonderful sessions, actually.
Thank you, ma'am. I actually enjoyed with the students.
Yes.
Even if now anyone has any questions, you can post it, if in case.